Well, have you guys heard about the latest Nintendo news?
I danced in the street.
He danced in the
Such
rain.
a dick.
He danced in the rain and did the whole singing thing, but little did he know I was on the roof and I had to take a leak.
That's why I did it.
Essentially, it was singing in the golden shower.
Just what I wanted.
Dude, that could be a porno spinoff.
Yeah.
Man, we could be rich.
Quit the podcast and make porn.
Yes.
Parodies.
We have cameras.
Yeah. True.
We've got units.
I have After Effects. We can do stuff with that. This dude's penis is a rocket.
I'll shoot it. Willis can edit it. Zach can be the star. There we go.
I'm good.
I think...
I don't know if I can sit behind my computer screen for like 4 hours a day.
Yeah.
Looking at
Zach have sex.
I'm
You're-
pretty
you're-
sure you could.
You're about to sit down. You're about to create that new sequence. You're just like, okay, I just need a break. Come back in 10 minutes. Okay.
And he brings a
I'm
big
ready.
bottle of lotion. He's like, I'm ready.
you drag the first piece of footage into the timeline, and you see that first frame of Zach, and you're like, nope, can't do it.
I think I have a phobia of lotion. I hate lotion.
Why?
It's just the worst feeling in the world. It never goes away.
It doesn't. It takes forever to go away.
I was with a girl this weekend, and I saw her put lotion on her feet and put socks on top of it.
Oh.
And I was like, you got to get out of my house. And she's like, but we're at my house. And I was like, okay, you got to get out of my house. I was so bumfuzzled by the whole experience.
Yeah, a lot of people do that to keep their feet moisturized.
I can't stand that feeling when you put socks on your feet after you put lotion on them.
That have aloe built into them.
Nope.
You put them on and it
Nope.
like secretes
Nope.
the lotion.
Ugh.
That's a big bottle of nope.
I'm going to get you some
I'd rather lay down in a bed of spiders.
that are covered in lotion.
They have lotion as their venom. No.
Anyway, Nintendo is getting kind of desperate.
It's kind of like you.
For what it's worth,
It's a reflection.
they've been fairly desperate.
Oh, but it's getting worse.
It's a reflection of Derek himself.
Yes, maybe. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Desperate.
We'll go with that.
Yes. No. Maybe.
Anyway, it says here, over the past few days, Nintendo's made a concerted effort to show gamers and shareholders they are willing to change. After sales projections took a troubling nosedive, which was a huge nosedive. I don't remember the actual numbers, but it was pretty bad. Anyway, they're basically considering merging and acquiring other companies, but they haven't specified as to which ones might be a possibility.
I don't even know
So they're
what that means.
They're looking to buy other companies to bolster their income.
Yeah.
That's
Who are they going to
bad
buy
news.
out?
I have no idea. Can
Not
they buy?
anybody- it's
Can
not
they
gonna
buy
be anybody-
anyone out?
Well, I mean, they could buy out like game companies, but
I think they're going to try to go to different markets though, outside of gaming. But
I mean, the article says one solution they are considering is mergers and acquisitions. The publisher doesn't have anything to announce just yet, but they seemingly want fans to know any opportunity for upward momentum is under consideration.
Nintendo will never die.
I don't know about that.
I think
I don't-
at the absolute worst case scenario, I never see this happening. They will just end up creating video games,
They'll be like Sega.
basically. That's their absolute worst case scenario. You did see that the president of Nintendo and a lot of the upper guys took like ginormous pay cuts,
Yeah.
because of how poor their sales were.
Yeah.
I know Microsoft has for years tried to buy Nintendo. So that could be a possible future 10 years down the road when I'm hoping they don't.
Japan would be so pissed.
Yeah.
Which I think it would be Microsoft buys Nintendo, bolsters their, gives them money to still operate, and then fixes a few things, especially with they're not selling like they should. They fix those few things and then leave them to do what they need to do.
I think the only difference would be if that happened, I think they would leave them. They would leave them be pretty much, but it would drastically cut off release date differences.
Yeah.
Because the really good games that come out of Japan, by the time they hit the U.S., they've been out in Japan for like 6 months to a year.
Mm-hmm. And they would probably fix them pushing back games or saying they're going to make a game and then 5
Just canceling
years later,
it.
Yeah.
Or like Pikmin waiting a decade.
Yeah.
To make a game that's not even that long.
If
Derek's like, don't remind.
Yeah. If the Wii U, and I hate to make assumptions, but I assume that the Wii U is going to end up being a failure at the end of its lifespan. How many more consoles do you see Nintendo making?
One.
One?
They make this last one after the Wii U, and then if it succeeds, they make another one. If they don't,
where do they go from here?
I don't know. I think they need to get out of trying to innovate peripherals like the Wii Remote, the gamepad. I like the gamepad, but they've got to put it in the hardware, graphics and all of that, because that's what people want. People went out and bought the Xbox One and the PS4. They didn't flock in.
They're so far behind Microsoft and Sony when it comes to even playing online, because there were very few Wii games that you could play online. Like anytime I would try to play Smash Brothers Brawl, it would never connect. I mean, I could play Mario Kart and that was pretty fun, but those two are really the only ones that come to mind.
Isn't there gonna be like some kind of virtual console update? Is the virtual console on the Wii U?
Yes. They have one for the Wii U and the 3DS.
Yeah. The 3DS, in my opinion, is a really good system.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's honestly been what's keeping Nintendo alive, is 3DS sales are really, really good.
They really just need to step up, and even as much as I don't like to say it, because I feel like I'm tired of seeing the same games over and over, they really need to focus on making new Mario games, making new Pokemon games, because that's where the bulk of their money comes from.
Oh, yeah.
See, I actually have the opposite viewpoint. I mean, they still need to make those games, of course, but and I hate to say this as a Nintendo fan, but they've been relying on their reputation and those games for years.
I agree.
Since the Nintendo 64, honestly, in my mind. Like, the GameCube is when I started to notice it, because all these cool games that were for the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox back then, they weren't on the GameCube. And they weren't on the Wii. And they're not on the Wii U.
I think once they found out, like when they released the Wii U,
they released it too early.
I agree. And I think they should have immediately known we need an absolute all-star title like, the new Smash Brothers game. We need that to come out at least around the same time that everyone else releases their consoles, so they can stay somewhat relevant.
If it had been a couple of weeks later, like not launch date, I don't think it would have been that big a deal, but they didn't have anything. They really didn't. I mean, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, their launch lineups weren't the strongest either.
Oh, no.
But,
and it's still awful to this day. There's nothing to play.
But that kind of happened with the GameCube, because Smash Brothers came out, I think, a month or 2 months later. The first Mario game for it didn't come out until almost a year, or it might have been over a year after the GameCube came out.
It's really weird.
And just with the Wii U, the new Mario game just came out 2 months ago. Mario Kart hasn't came out yet. Donkey Kong hasn't come out yet. I still say Smash Brothers comes out at Christmas time at the earliest. Though I could see the possibility that they will try and release it early just because they're so desperate to sell consoles.
I think that for them to be successful, they need to get new publishers in, just like Willis had said. They could be merging with different,
just like
game makers,
Yeah.
companies that put them out, or get in contact with Bethesda and have them work on an open world Zelda or Pokemon, something that is going to bolster their revenue, because it's not working apparently.
I don't know why they're so hesitant to not do that. Or sequels that
They've always been very conservative with everything, which has been their problem. They won't take any kind of risk to change up a Zelda game or a Mario game or something like that.
you want me to tell you a game that would sell insane amounts, and it could be a sequel. It would be a sequel, a new Snap game.
Yeah.
I don't even have a Wii U, and I would consider buying a Wii U to play that.
I still say they need to release Pokemon Snap 2 and Stadium 3 and have all gens on it.
I don't see why not. I cannot see the argument for not doing it.
If I were the head of Nintendo, I would call a meeting with all the higher ups and even some of the people in creative, and I would just say, any idea, throw it on the table right now.
I don't
It
get
worked for the WWE years ago. I mean, I hate to keep going back to wrestling references, but WCW was kicking their ass in the ratings, and Vince McMahon called a meeting and said, I'm up for doing anything. And then somebody came up with the idea, well, they're more family friendly, so let's go edgy. And I think it worked out well for them.
Something's got to change for them.
Yeah.
I think they're going to get to the point where they're desperate.
I actually agree with you that after the Wii U, I think they'll make one more console, and if it fails, then they'll go the way of Sega, and they'll just make games, which I've said it on this show before. If you put a Zelda game on PlayStation or Xbox, it's going to sell because people will play Zelda.
Do you think that helps them or hurts them, though? That's a very double-edged sword.
If they're not making consoles anymore, it doesn't matter.
I agree about that, but I thought you were talking about like now.
No, I'm talking about in the future. I'm saying,
in the future.
No, I'm
then
just
yes.
I'm just saying, if years from now we hear that Nintendo's not going to make consoles anymore, threads will start online about how could a Mario game work on PlayStation, or
I don't think it really isn't that hard to picture that.
It would still be weird though.
It would. Oh, I agree. I actually don't think that that's the solution for them right now.
Oh,
Even
not
though
right now. No.
They could make tons of money off of it, but then you kind of lose your
exclusive
niche.
Yeah. Why people would buy your console?
Exactly.
No, I'm saying that I agree with Zach saying that after the Wii U, I would make one more console, and if it doesn't work, then I think you have to rethink your options.
I think what they should do is once they realize they're going to make another console, they should not release it until the next generation of gaming is ready. Like until there's a next.
They need to wait till the other two.
And the thing is, since they're already off of that timeline a little bit,
they could work on it now.
That gives you way more time to work on your next console. Even if you have it done months before it's supposed to be released, I would wait so you're still competitive. And then in that extra downtime that you have, get the games created to come out at launch.
Yeah.
And don't tell anybody about it, because you will absolutely destroy Microsoft and Sony in sales, because their launches were game-wise were not very good. So do that, and then even then you still should have downtime to help map out when you're going to release these titles.
Yeah, I would come out with whenever they do the next console, I would have Mario, Zelda, Metroid, Pikmin.
Like one every other month.
Yeah, but I would have
at least 2 at launch.
I would have
the Mario for sure.
Yeah, Mario, and I'd probably put Metroid up there with it, and then have Zelda like in the next few months after it. So you don't have your 2 big ones. You space those out a little bit, and then people are going to buy it.
I would release the console in November.
Mm-hmm.
Have the new Mario, make it, Mario Galaxy 3 or whatever you want to do. And a new 3D Metroid game. Maybe for Christmas have, Donkey Kong, one of the slightly lesser but still big Nintendo names. Have Zelda.
Donkey Konga.
That was fun. That was actually kind of a fun game.
I was bad at it.
I never played it.
Have Zelda March, April.
I'd say February. Cause
Late February.
Mm-hmm.
And then have Smash Brothers like during the summer or something like that.
Have
Like
that be
I'll
the big summer release.
yeah. And then like later that Christmas you can have like the Mario Kart, the Mario Party, and maybe Star Fox.
I
Something
think
like that.
Yeah.
I agree. I think they should go and make it about the console, and then sell the peripherals as extras.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm tired of with Nintendo since the Wii. Has been all about
They're
the
trying to-
gimmick bullshit.
They're
is
trying
what
to make
is.
it innovative, and it's just not working anymore.
Yeah.
Although I agree, the gamepad is really cool.
Yeah,
That's not
I
a
like-
selling point to a system to me.
No. It's
Yeah.
not.
One thing I heard, I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard that they were considering selling the Wii U's without the gamepad.
To make it cheaper,
Yeah. Because I think the gamepad makes it like an extra $100 to $150.
still the problem with that.
That's the whole reason to
Yeah,
buy the
you
thing.
still
No,
have
like,
to get it eventually.
Actually, I think that's okay to sell the system as long as it comes with controllers that you can still regularly play with. The problem with them wanting to do that is there's not a single game out that makes me want to buy a Wii U,
Yeah.
even if it was that much cheaper.
Yeah.
If push comes to shove, I think they'll stop making consoles. They'll keep making handhelds, though. That's where they're making their money. I think they
Yeah.
need to.
If Microsoft were to buy Nintendo, I would still give them complete free reign over the 3DS.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
still have the 3DS as a system, because I'm sure even they would say that is a damn good handheld
Oh,
console.
yeah. Definitely.
You think Microsoft is more likely to buy them out than Sony?
Yeah. Because Bill Gates has tried for years to get
feel like
them.
Region-wise, it would just make more sense for Sony to do it.
But Microsoft's going to try to jump on it because they need that handheld market too. Because Sony has one, but it's not. That's one thing about the Vita. Nothing to play.
It's weird, man. The lack of games that have been just recently is...
Well, that's one thing that's plagued the Vita the whole time is there's nothing
Yeah.
to play on it. And if there is, it's usually crap. The whole reason I kept mine instead of selling it is for the, like, being able to play PS4 games on it.
So it's basically like the Wii U gamepad.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's all. That's the only thing I use it for, if I ever use it.